hit the camera if there's a line.
Good morning.
Is there a line through the camera?
And
Hey, Hank.
I have at least 9 public comments.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Hank.
Thank you.
Hello, Hank.
Hello, Scott. Hi, Chris.
How's it going?
I can hear you fine. Oh.
Hear you, Dan.
Hey, Dan, has anybody checked the live stream, the township website, live stream connection? When I pull up the live stream, the most recent one gives me the November 24th meeting, so I don't see it
I see you,
right
Dave.
now.
See you, Dave. You ought to be in picture.
You haven't? So if you go to the township website and just click the icon that says live streaming. I'm not sure how everybody's navigating their way in, but that button takes me to the 11/24 meeting. So you have to go to the actual YouTube channel and subscribe. Right. I'm assuming most people will go to the live stream, the hyperlink on the township website. Okay.
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
To order the special board meeting of December 2nd, 2020 at 5 p.m. The Pledge of Allegiance, please rise. Let's try to do I'll try to do a little better job than last time. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, the virtual Pledge of Allegiance is a little bumpy. Clerk Barry, please call the roll.
Supervisor Echevetti.
Here.
Treasurer Elliott.
Here.
Trustee Anderson.
Here.
Trustee Joseph.
Here.
Trustee DeMink.
Here.
Trustee Vosberg.
Here.
Clerk Barry is here.
Item number 4 is closed session.
Motion to enter closed session.
Motion by Clerk Barry to enter closed session. Support by Trustee Vosberg. Clerk Barry, please call the roll.
Clerk Barry, aye. Trustee Vosberg.
Aye.
Trustee Anderson.
Aye.
Trustee Joseph.
Aye.
Trustee DeMink.
Aye.
Treasurer Elliott.
Aye.
Supervisor Akavetti.
Aye. We are in closed session at 5:02 PM. Actually, I'm just muted, so, although you can hear me. do I have a motion to re-enter open session?
So moved.
Motion opens, open session.
Motion by trustee Joseph, support by trustee Demink to re-enter open session. Clerk Barry, please call the roll.
I'm sorry, Mr. Supervisor, I was still connecting. Who made the motion?
Trustee Joseph, and supported by trustee Demink.
Okay. Trustee Joseph.
Aye.
Trustee Demink.
Aye.
Trustee Anderson.
Aye.
Trustee Vosberg.
Aye.
Treasurer Elliott.
Aye.
Supervisor Echevetti.
Aye.
Clerk Barry, aye.
We are back in closed session at 5:34 PM.
Mr. Supervisor, I'd like to make a motion coming out of closed session.
Please proceed.
I'd like to motion that we direct legal counsel to continue negotiation with the plaintiff for an alternative location for the cell tower in accordance with legal counsel's letter dated December 2nd, 2020.
Support.
Motion by trustee Joseph, support by trustee Vosberg to direct legal counsel to continue negotiations with the plaintiff for an alternate location for the cellular tower in accordance with legal counsel's letter dated December 2nd, 2020. Any public or any board comments?
Mr. Supervisor, the language that you read back was a little bit different than the language of my motion, but I think it captures the spirit of it.
Okay, let me make sure why don't we make sure we get it perfectly right here? So go ahead if there's any comments. What do you think?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. That is my motion.
Motion by trustee Joseph, support by trustee Vosberg. Discussion. Public comments on the closed session item.
Yes, Mr. Supervisor, we have several
Ooh, what did I just do?
comments. Just give me a moment to switch to each one.
Now, this is just that you have some general comments and some item-related comments, right? I guess they're all kind of the same, but.
They're all the same. They're all related to,
So it's up to you if you want to do it before or after we vote on the motion that was made by trustee Joseph, or if you want to do it during the public comments portion of the agenda. Attorney Anderson, what should we do here?
that was my next question. Should like to ask legal counsel.
Either spot would be appropriate.
I'm comfortable taking the vote, Mr. Supervisor, if legal counsel is approved.
Any further discussion on, I guess it would be item 4A, the motion by trustee Joseph, support by trustee Vosberg, to direct legal counsel to continue negotiations with the plaintiff's attorney for an alternate location for the cellular tower in accordance with the council's letter dated December 2nd, 2020.
Trustee Joseph.
Clerk Barry, please call the roll.
Trustee Joseph.
Aye.
Trustee Vosberg.
No, you're muted, Ms. Vosberg.
Aye.
Trustee Anderson. Trustee Anderson was aye.
I did not hear. Oh, I got.
Trustee Anderson.
Aye.
Trustee Demink.
Aye.
Treasurer Elliott.
Aye.
Supervisor Echevetti.
Aye.
Clerk Barry, aye.
The motion passes. Item 5, public comment.
The first item under public comment comes from Mark Savosky. That's CRKOVSKI 48462 Harbor Drive. In regards to agenda item on the agenda, first, is the cell tower even necessary? Based on AT&T and Verizon coverage maps, there is coverage in the area proposed by the tower company. Second, we, the public, are requesting that if the township is forced to put up a cell tower, then the township board do everything in their power to move the tower to a place as far away from the most residents as possible. We do not want it at Forbes and Jefferson, as it affects too many resident home values and daily lives looking at this tower. Lastly, did the tower company and township follow all proper procedures and township rules during the process? Thank you for your consideration. We will be watching. Best regards, Mark Zerkowski. The next public comment is from Larry Rass, WRASS 48470 Harbor Drive. We do not want the cell tower on Jefferson. Please find alternate locations. Larry and Connie Rass. The next public comment is from Shannon Zawadny, ZAWODNI 48462 Harper Drive. As a citizen of Chesterfield living on Harbor Drive, I urge the board to find an alternate location for the proposed cell tower. I know I speak for numerous residents who do not want a tower at the former fire station in very close proximity to many homes. We do not want to look at this eyesore every day, nor do we want our property value to decrease because of it. The township has done a wonderful job increasing the beauty and value in the area recently with the addition of the new bridge, paddle park, and ongoing work at Brandenburg Park's shoreline. Please don't negate this by allowing a 100-plus foot tower be installed in this residential area. Once again, I urge you to listen to the residents and do everything in your power to find an alternate location that will be less visible along Jefferson, as well as away from as many residential properties as possible. Thank you for your time and consideration on this matter. The next public comment is from Morgan D. on Pheasant Street. I'm begging you, please do not allow this tower to be built in my neighborhood. As our elected officials, you know that the majority of the residents affected by this tower do not want it. Please do everything in your power to keep it from being built. I appreciate the support that some board members have given the residents to this point, and will certainly not forget how some have stood up as a real voice for us residents and helped us fight this. Thank you in advance for your time, Morgan. Our next public comment is from, I'm sorry, that was a duplicate, Tracy Buckley, 48324 Jefferson Avenue. I implore you, please consider an alternative site for this cell tower. As our elected officials, you know that the majority of this area, of the area residents do not support the cell tower. My family appreciates the support of the board members who agree with and support our feelings. We do not want this cell tower in our neighborhood. Thank you. The next public comment comes from Tom Houck, Houck, 48454 Harbor Drive. I see this lease is still under consideration. This process must stop as the required public notice was not properly given. The lease was signed before this notice was given, so the lease is not legal. In addition, the planned use was determined to violate the zoning rules by both the Planning Commission and the Appeals Commission. I have seen no notice of a change of the plan or a request for a variance. So what has changed? Other than the which board members are assigned to which commission. The rules of our township are published and were available for the cell tower company to review before they signed the lease. They chose not to review the rules or to ignore the rules and to sign the lease. They're bad. Let them sue. It is clear that they are not wanted and that they still try to jam this down our throats. Do you really want to do business with a company that has so little regard for the opinions of your constituents? Surely any third-party review of this process will easily determine what is going on here. The lawsuit is less of a problem than the candidates that will be fielded and funded to run in the next primary. We will address this injustice in the primary, not the general election. Avoiding this lawsuit may spawn others. Our next public comment is from Deborah Van Haverbeck, VanHaverbeck at 48452 Forbes. To all persons present, please do not allow the tower company to construct a cell tower at the corner of Forbes and Jefferson. This area is a designated residential area with many homes considered having the highest property values in the township. A cell tower on that corner would definitely decrease the property values, creating undue hardship to homeowners wishing to sell their property. That mile stretch of Jefferson, which includes the newly constructed bridge, would be doomed to host an eyesore towering well over any other existing structure, and it would be so out of place. We, the residents of the area, ask you to please find another more suitable piece of land for this cell tower, away from such a densely populated residential area. I live in the second house behind the old fire station, so that proposed cell tower would be about 100 feet away. I have attended all meetings regarding this proposal and have sent numerous letters pleading with the township to find a more suitable area for the cell tower. The Zoning Board of Appeals has already denied the placement of the cell tower on that land. Please don't let us down now. Sincerely, Deborah Van Haverbeck. Our next public comment is from Terrence and Margaret Dunn, 48474 Jefferson. We have lived in Chesterfield for 40+ years and have seen many changes in the township. There is one for sure that we will not let happen. We live directly across from the empty fire station and are totally against a cell tower in our neighborhood. We the people have already spoken on this subject which was there would not be a cell tower at the Jefferson location. We hope that you do not try to change our wishes and what was agreed on at a previous meeting. In the very beginning, this was changed to suit your needs, not ours, which was wrong and agreed upon to seek another location. Cell towers do not belong in a neighborhood with houses that will be directly affected. The township has plenty of vacant lots, and it could and should be used for this purpose. For the record, we have no issue with our phone. Terry and Margaret Dunn, 48474 Jefferson. And those are all of the public comments that have been submitted.
Bring it up. Let's bring it back up to the board. Trustee Anderson?
Yeah, thank you. In short, I support the motion made by Mr. Joseph and endorsed by this board 100%. And I am hopeful that an alternative location can be successfully found besides the one that was cited at Jefferson and Forbes. And I'll leave it go right there at this point. Thank you.
Trustee Joseph.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Just the resident comments that were read by the clerk seem to echo the same sentiment that I've received over the weekend and through the Thanksgiving holiday. The residents in that area are quite concerned and quite worried. They are aware of the special board meetings and the recent closed sessions and so forth. I think, as you heard in the letters, as we heard, a number of them probably were under the misconception that the issue was resolved based on board action, based on planning commission action, based on ZBA. But the reality is that the petitioner still has relief that they are attempting to seek. And potentially, if that's court action, I think they've been very clear that that's the route they intend to go. This action tonight and this special board meeting, the discussions that we've had, I think represents a board that is unified in the intent to seek an alternative location, an alternate location. one that does address service issues without the tower in a residential neighborhood, quite frankly. So there were a number of sort of tones and questions posed to me, and I have my own personal feelings on this, but what I would like to communicate to everybody affected in that area, I don't believe I was removed from the Planning Commission or Trustee Anderson removed from the ZBA as a result of our advocacy for these residents. I've heard that several times. The questions about whether or not board rules were followed and does that make the actions of the petitioner sort of null and void are all legal questions that I'd prefer not to talk about at this point because we're not in that space. The space that we are in, and obviously I'm just 1/7 of the board, but if you can glean anything from the vote of all board members tonight, I think there is unanimous interest in trying to find a location that does not cause problems for the residents in that area, improve service, and we are exhausting all reasonable efforts to be successful in that endeavor. So I'm encouraged by the continued involvement from the residents in that area, but I also don't want people to be angry or panicked. This board is committed to resolving a number of the issues that were not only forwarded tonight, but also in communication with Trustee Anderson. I believe he's fielded a number of these emails, in the last week or so as well. We are all sort of rowing in the same direction here, and that is the message that I would like the residents in that area to know. Thank you.
Trustee Demink.
I supported the motion that was made by Trustee Joseph and seconded by Trustee Vosberg, looking at an alternate location. I understand the voice of the residents and what's been said, and I think the 7 of us are working for a better resolution together and get through this. Thank you.
Trustee Vosberg.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I would concur with the comments that were previously made. We want to provide the best service for our residents, and providing additional cell coverage is a way to provide better service. Thank you.
Clerk Barry.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I concur with my colleagues on the board, and it's encouraging to see 7 board members working together. I think there's some concern that issues like this sometimes fell victim to politics, for lack of a better word. And I think that those days are behind us, and I think that's best for all of us and all of our residents as well. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and I think this is going to be resolved to the very best that we possibly can here. So that's encouraging, and I'm excited to support this motion as well.
Treasurer Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I agree with the previous comments, and I want to thank the residents who took the time to send in their comments, and I believe that they've been heard, and we are working together to try to find a solution.
Thank you. I'm enjoying this Brady Bunch view. I look down and I see, long way to go still with this, but I am very optimistic that we will achieve an outcome that meets all of the objectives, which is to increase service in that area for public safety and to ensure that proper communication can happen. Our hands are tied on a lot of levels when there's a service gap area like that. To locate the tower in a location that has the least impact on surrounding properties as possible. I do believe that is a goal that can be achieved, and to also limit the township's financial and legal exposure while increasing revenue to the township. I do believe that that outcome is very, very, I guess I'm optimistic about it. And the action that we took today, I'm appreciative of, and I look forward to moving this toward conclusion as soon as possible. Item number 7 is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Oh, next board meeting is December 8th at 7 p.m. And it's not December 5th, it's December 2nd.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by trustee Vosberg, support by trustee Joseph. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by saying nay. We are adjourned at 5:55 p.m.